This is Dr. Pollock. Now I'm going to talk about how to use the QRS system. It has basically, as I mentioned in the previous video, it has a whole body pad applicator and it has a pillow applicator. This pillow applicator actually has a strap on the back that allows you to wrap it around a body part, whether it's a hip or a knee or a foot, ankle, or even the head. And you can, with the Velcro strap, attach it and keep it secure in place. When you're laying on the whole body pad basically has a strip of wiring across the center of it and then onto the sides. The center is the strongest part of this, designed to stimulate the nervous system. On the back of the pad you have your typical connectors with the power and then each of the separate applicators. This is the control unit, and the control unit turns on with this button up here, and then it goes through a system check. And once the system check is complete, then you basically make a selection on which levels you're going to use and the amount of time, and then you press the start button. So you have relax, basis, and vital. Relax is one of the lowest intensities on the system, and it's limited to 5 particular settings. Basis is the middle range, if you will, of the system in terms of intensity, and vital is the higher end of the range in terms of intensity. But each of these has a slightly different format in terms of the way the signal operates, and I'll demonstrate that to you in a second. So once you've picked one of these, let's say we pick relax, then the display shows that you picked relax, and then you pick one of the settings. So whether it's sensitive, medium, or intensive. Medium or intensive tend to be stronger. The sensitive is for people who are very, very, very sensitive to pulse magnetic fields. So let's do relax intensive. Okay, and then it will actually not allow you to do intensive, so you end up getting medium as a default. And then you pick the amount of time. So let's say we're going to pick 8 minutes. And then you press the start button, and the system begins to generate the signal. This is a magnetic field detector that's available from Radio Shack, and you can hear it from even up here that it's actually producing a signal. So you can hear the signal is operating off the body pad, and you can see it's like a pulsing signal. You can see that as I raise the magnetic field detector off the surface, you can still hear the signal. So if I were to put my arm under here, it would make no difference. If I were to put a box or a body, for that matter, your body or anybody's body, it will go right through the body as high as even about 2 feet, 3 feet. All right, so that's the relax level, and that's the relax signal. So let's stop it. We'll press the start-stop button, and let's pick vital. So we'll do vital, intensive. All right, and then we'll press the start 8 minutes, and then the start button. You can actually hear a much higher intensity signal with that. And you can hear that the signal pattern is different. It's more consistent. It doesn't have the same pulsations that the relax pattern did. And because it's much more intense, you get a lot more intensity of the signal as it passes through the body. Okay, so this is a fairly robust, strong magnetic system, even though its maximum intensity is still only about the same intensity as the Earth's magnetic field. But basically it covers the entire pad. Okay? So let's stop that. Now you can also change the time and the intensities on this. So if we pick vital, we can actually, let's say we pick the time, but let's say we want to change the intensity of the vital. So we'll do vital intensive, right? And then we'll hold down vital intensive, and the screen will shift and you can see the intensity, and then you can use these 2 buttons as basically plus minus buttons to change the intensity. So I've changed the intensity to 9, 8, and so on. So you can adjust the intensity settings. Now we can press the time, let's say 8 minutes, and then if I press 8 minutes, and this applies to any of the time buttons, then I can also adjust using these two buttons. I can adjust the time. So it's gone down to 7 minutes, or I can go up to upwards of 60 minutes for the time. So using any of these settings, we can actually adjust the time and the intensity individually to our own particular preferences. Now again, there are presets here, 8, 16, and 24, so if you press them, that's the times that you're going to be getting, typically. There's also a setting here for dousing the light, and a setting for changing the signal from the machine, which the machine tells you that it's turning on or turning off. And that will allow you to then be able to adjust that. So I think the basic thing I want to leave you with this particular video is that there's a lot of flexibility in using these buttons. With a magnetic field detector, you can see that the magnetic field is actually pretty strong and spills over to the sides as well as up and down. So it's actually a three-dimensional cocoon that you're creating with this magnetic field. And I jokingly tell people that you could actually treat two people at the same time. So if you stood the pad up on its side, you could actually have a person on either side. So you can have a person on this side and a person on this side. Both are getting the magnetic fields equally on either side. Now I might just demonstrate how it does this in terms of going through the sides. Let's stop everything. I'm sorry, we put on the start button. Let's click AB. So now it's on the mat, and let's put it on the pillow. Well, there's the pillow. So let's do vital, intensive, and let's do 8 minutes, and start. See, now there's still a little bit of a signal coming into the pillow, but most of it is actually now through the mat. So let me show you the mat from the sides. So this is the intensity on the mat itself. And by the way, there's a little light flashing here, which is also on the larger pad that indicates that there's actually power coming into the pillow. So you can see that, yes, it's powerful on the surface of the mat, and yes, as you move away from the surface, the intensity drops off, but it's still pretty strong, and it would be strong through the entire volume of the body. But you can also see from the edges that the same thing happens. Now, in this particular case, vital intensive, the magnetic field is still detectable about a foot away from the edge. So you could actually, if somebody's bigger than the body pad or a body part is bigger than the pillow, you're still going to get magnetic field on the edges. And again, it's a three-dimensional field. Very impressive. There's one other feature I should mention about the QRS, which is somewhat unique, in that it has a card applicator here. You can insert a card and you can actually program the card. So if you're using the system with only one particular set of settings that you want to keep using over and over again, then you can program the card, insert the card, start the system, and it would automatically run based on that program. It's also a very durable box, very handy, and it can actually travel. You can certainly take, say if you are traveling, you can certainly just take the pillow applicator by itself. Or you could take the whole system clearly with you, but you can just simply take the cord for the pillow with the control unit, and again, it travels pretty easily. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, you can contact us through the website or by contacting Bodyfields, the American distributor for the QRS. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.